Welcome to Voice of Reason.
It's good to have you join us on this special interview session. This day, I am fortunate to have the Amotekun of Yorubaland, Chief Gani with me on the program this afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I am fine. Thank you so much for joining us on the program this afternoon.
You're welcome.
Now, there is this popular belief at this time that the Yoruba land is enveloped with foreigners and that these foreigners are nothing but enemies. Some persons will say, oh, stop profiling. How true is this assertion?
Well, not all the people that is residing in Yoruba land that are not Yorubas are enemies. But we realize that the few of them are potential enemy now, especially some suspected terrorists from the north. And not all the northerners are enemies. We have some northerners that have been living in Yoruba for the past 50 years that they are not harmful. And they have been doing their legitimate business without being harmful to us. And also we have the Yoruba people living in the north that we never heard them constituting nuisance and becoming security threat to the northerners. But unfortunately, for the past 6 years, we realized that some suspected terrorists have infiltrated the western region. And we raised some alarm. Some people were pessimistic about it. Some pessimists did not believe what we are saying. But at the end of the day, it happened. And that was what led to what happened in Okeogun and in Barakwa area. So categorically, I must tell you that we have some evildoers, some suspected terrorists that have infiltrated Yorubaland.
Some persons are saying with the establishment of Amotekun, oh, these people should not be a problem. Amotekun should be able to handle them. You made a statement some days back that went viral. And some persons were like, oh, this is where we need Gani Adams, as the Amotekun. Some persons expected that charms would be deployed by Amotekun, but they are saying they can't feel it to the extent that they are now querying the essence of Amotekun.
Well, Amotekun have already served its purpose. It's a new security outfit being run by government. And because of the kind of structure we are running in this country, we do not allow true federalism to ensure. Most of the money generated by the state government is going to the coffers of the federal government. And the state government were being given peanuts every month. Assuming the government allow true federalism to ensure, the resources made by the state government, they will have enough money to run their security outfit. Normally, it's supposed to be a state police. If not because of the political issue that we are being married with the security issues. We're supposed to have a regional police, state police, and local government police. But we thought that let us start from one place by having a corps that can match some of the criminals, the Oshins, and suspected terrorists within our midst. And that was what led to the founding of Amotekun. I was one of the people that agitated for it, that called for it. And as I'm talking to you, some of our members were being recruited to Amotekun. But the resources in disposal of the governors is not enough to recruit the strength be needed for the security outfit. Most of the Oyo State recruited the highest number, which is 2,000. Ondo State, almost 1,000 now. The Ekiti State, just 400 because they don't have money. Osun State, I don't know, maybe it's up to 700 cops they recruited. So what is on ground now is about the government should allow Amotekun to carry a sophisticated weapon. Apart from the strength, you can't expect a cop that is using big gun, pump action to face a criminal that move in the bush, in the forest, with rocket launcher, RPG, submachine gun, modern sophisticated weapon. Because they have access on foreign support, some Islamic organizations that support them. And at the same time, they were kidnapping some resourceful people, figures that matter in the society to make that crude and illegal money. So the only way is that if the state government allow a non-government organization like a Southwest Security Stakeholder Group to merge with Amotekun in an operation like that, we can still do something.
Now, just this morning, it was said that these non-state actors kidnapped a traditional ruler in Ondo State. This is an affront to some persons. And the question notable sons and daughters of Yorubaland are asking is, traditional rulers, these are people who ought to be fortified. How come these non-state actors are so powerful to, abduct them at will and nothing is happening? What is happening to our traditional institution?
Not all our traditional rulers became an Oba through the normal process. And not all of them behave like a real traditional ruler. Some of them did not behave like a real traditional ruler. Some of them were installed without even going to the seclusion process. When you want to install an Oba, he has to pass through a seclusion process. In the process of seclusion, the Oba will be highly fortified. And even an Oba become an Oba, there is one thing Yoruba call Ose, 9 days. They will be consulting in the palace. What will happen in the next 9 days? They will know how to do the sacrifice. And if anything will happen to a community through the Ose, consultation through Ifa, you will know it. How many Oba does that in Yorubaland? The Obas that normally does that is, most of them are in Lagos. Even in the main historical city in Yorubaland, they couldn't do that. Some of them have become born again to the extent that they don't use bead anymore. You will see an Oba without bead and putting chain in the neck. And what is the main features of recognizing an Oba when you are coming? Bead, irukere, you are holding, and the small staff of office. So that was a way our Obas are doing olden days. Most of them did not do it like that. Some of them just want that position and control as an authority. I'm not happy that an Oba was being kidnapped, but the Oba must do the normal thing. We are Yorubas. We know how to defend ourselves in Yorubaland. And don't have the impression that the Oba that was kidnapped was only the kidnappers are only Hausa Fulanis people. We have some Yorubas who work as a kidnapper, who involved in kidnapping. And most of the terrorists that kidnap in Yorubaland, they have Yoruba as their agent, who prepare food for them in the forest. Is it not the Yoruba people? Who give them the information about those who are rich that they can collect money from? They are these Yoruba people who are their agents. So a lot is happening. And that was one of the reasons. We said for Nigeria to be a better country, if the people in authority and the political players want a better country, we must go back to the basis, how we got independent. And how do we got, what are we doing? What is the government we are running when we got independent? We run a federalism on the basis of physical federalism, on the basis of regionalism.
So you're talking about restructuring.
Structuring to regionalism. And if you are not ready to restructure, Nigeria will break.
Now, it appears everybody seems to be embracing this concept of restructuring. But when you look at the mindset of an average Nigerian, the concept of restructuring is gaining traction, is becoming popular. But the people seem confused about how to achieve this restructuring.
Very simple. We can achieve restructuring through many ways. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria can constitute a committee or a panel. They will sit down and make a draft and send it to the National Assembly. They will review it and make it as a law. The outcome of the 2014 National Conference is there with them. The outcome is, I believe that the event will even overtake most of the content of the outcome. Because we were perambulating that we don't want to go into details of what's happening in 2014. But what's happening now, because of the level of poverty, because of the government in power have tampered with our institution, because of the government in power, because of its nepotism, tribalism, have allowed insecurity. They have caused a lot of problems. I think the content of the national confab cannot solve our problem anymore. And one of the delegates, in 2015, I was talking about national confab reports. In 2016, I was talking about national conference report. But now the event have overtaken it. What we need is beyond the recommendation of the national confab.
It's beyond
regional autonomy. Anything short of regional, we don't want statism. Statism we give the power to the governor to become emperor. Statism we bring a situation where we go back to unnecessary unitary system of government again. Statism will give a power to some states that they will become lord in their state. But a regionalism, federal, region, state, and local government give room for check and balances of governance.
So regionalism must be embraced.
Exactly. Without regionalism, forget Nigeria within 2 years.
But the issue is that if Nigeria should embrace regionalism, there is this fear in some quarters that the pace of development will not be equal. So it now appears that those that stand favored are the ones championing this cause, and those that will be disfavored are the ones that are reluctant.
That's the thinking of selfishness people in Nigeria, because in the 50s, we have 3 regions, and every region has a way of developing. We were making our money by then through agriculture, cash crops, and the northern region were making their money through cottons, northern pyramid. The east were making their money through coal. And there was a serious economic competition by then. That's why we are talking about regionalism. If you are saying states, the level of development may not be equal. The poor states in the region, all the states cannot be poor without having resources. And if they don't have much resources, they manage their governance, build an infrastructure. Most of the country in Europe did not have mineral resources. I'm a regular traveler. I've traveled to about 56 countries. Most of the country in Europe did not have solid mineral, did not have crude oil. They were running up based on the infrastructure they built, based on taxes. When you give a good road, you give light uninterrupted, pipe-borne water to every houses. Instead of, apart from this, compared to this borehole that is giving people sickness, the water that is not well treated. When you get to many hospitals, typhoid, what's the problem? It's true water that was not well treated. The water you are using to cook is not well treated. But in Europe, every house was given a water by the government, and you pay for it. They give you light, you pay for it. The money we are paying for electricity is going to a private company, and private company is giving a peanut to the federal government. You can imagine the amount Lagos State will generate if they are controlling their electricity in Lagos State. Lagos State will generate nothing less than 80 to 100 billion in a month on electricity. And all the factories, all the industry that are there, they will be revived. Will be revived. The Oyo State will generate nothing less than 60 billion from electricity. Ogun State will generate about 45 to 50. Ondo State will generate 25 to 30 or 40. Ekiti State will generate 15 or 10 billion naira in electricity. Because the more you have the electricity, more creative the citizen of the state will be creative, will be more creative and innovation in business. And water. When you sell water by the government, Lagos State will make nothing less than in water, bringing a pipe-borne water to all houses. Lagos State will generate nothing less than 50 billion naira in a month. Oyo State will generate nothing less than 15 to 20 billion. Let me say 12 billion. Other states will generate, let's say 10 billion or 20 billion. Ekiti will generate like 3 or 4 billion. Waste bin. When you run your waste bin, government control it. Lagos State, we know how much Lagos State is generating from the waste bin. And when there's a policy that the state will take care of it and the local government, you will generate a lot of money. Those are 3 things. And a good economy, we analyze about 15 things that the government will generate money without talking of mineral resources.
But are you considering the place of corruption in all of these? Because those that will even run this regional government are the same people that have been accused of corruption at the same time.
Look, when there is a regional system, the level of corruption will be low. You can't steal Yoruba money anyhow the way you are stealing money in Nigeria. The people in the federal power shared many people that steal money that belong to their party. You can't steal Nigeria Yoruba money anyhow. When you are in the social club of Yoruba person, Yoruba will, for the first thing they will ask you, read the minute, let us see how much we have in our account. Tell us how much they are spending that money. Accountability is part of our system in Yorubaland. We are like a British. But because we have a government, we have already joined ourselves to a structure that they couldn't care on the basis of accountability to their system in the north.
Was this system forced on the Yorubas?
It has to be forced because we are in the same country. When Papa Awolowo was running Western region within 1953 to 1959, how many houses did Papa Awolowo have? The only people that have money when Papa Awolowo was in power, they are contractors that supply goods. Those who run the governance, they don't have money. And if we hear that Awolowo have any estate, it's by his own chamber, crude brief as a lawyer. Baba did not embezzle any money. Any panel set up that indict Baba, tell me in Western region. Most of the governor of UPN were living in their house. They were not living in their government house. And their house is not even beautiful up to this. They are contented. But when we changed the system in 1966 through Agu Rossi and the person in power go on see a blackish check of opportunity, and he embraced unitary system of government. And they started creating a state that favored the north, and local government favored the north more than the south. And a bush will be created as a local government. They will just be 3-4 houses as a secretariat, and they will be giving them allocation. So we know what we are saying about federalism. And they refuse to accept federalism because of the lopsided aspect of our politics. And they are having the problem now. They are feeling the pain on the basis of insecurity more than ours. About 2 months ago, the governor of Zamfara, Matalawi, said that every citizen in their state should carry arms. You know how the governor feel before bringing that policy. And chief of army staff, chief of defense start criticizing him. You can't save the life of the people, and you are criticizing them that they should not defend themselves. And if I don't raise the intel of what happened in the bush of Ile-Ife, and in between Ibadan and Abeokuta, we don't know what will happen within next 1 week. They want me to assist, they call me, it's in the press statement. It's paragraph by paragraph. And I even give a suggestion that they should look beyond Amotekun. Most of the Amotekun Corps is being given 45,000-50,000 naira. They can still raise our 150 people in each local government, giving them stipend of 20 to 25,000 naira. That will be a local security that will back up the Amotekun. Amotekun should be in the state level, the volunteers, local security network, who are volunteers, will back up Amotekun.
Is there any need to...
Let me come, wait, my brother. By then, the local security corps, about 150 people, will back Amotekun. And tell me, when you have 150 people as a security in a local government, some local government is not even more than 2 communities. You can see how vigilant, how determined that security of that local government will be. It will be street to street. And we can do that. If the local government did not have the capacity, they have the capacity. If the governor did not collect much money from them to pay that salary. Because the first responsibility of governance, of government and governance, is to protect life and property. By the time life and property have been protected, every other thing will follow, will flow in the system. The investor will come and invest. They will have the confidence, and you give money as a loan with a few interest. People will be having an idea to involve in different investment. And the money will flow. People will not be thinking that I want to go and join politics and make money.
Are you are the Yoruba generalissimo. And so raise your alarm or intel on what is likely to happen within the next 1 week between Ibadan and Abeokuta is one that we...
Are you turning me to Susia? So, you don't ask a warrior that what will happen. A warrior will not even tell you what will happen tomorrow. It will be foolish of that person to tell you what will happen tomorrow. On the basis of talking with journalism. Even in the meeting, you won't give them what will happen in an hour. I've given an intel. It's left for the authority to work on it. And I've told them, if you need my assistance, call me. All we need is commitment. If you need my assistance, I'll bring the group I have already coordinated together as an alliance on security on Southwest. Southwest security stakeholder groups. They will back up the authority. But if you don't ask for my alliance, I can't jump to the bush. In the process, 1 or 2 people killed. You now charge me murder. You can't intrude to government security without their permission. When there is a constituted authority, when there is no constituted authority, you can do anything. But when there is a constituted authority, when there is law on an order, you will see some illiterate. They say, why I did not jump to the bush? They are illiterate. They don't know how governors work. If you know how governors work, the governor are the chief security officer of their state. Likewise, the local government are the chief security officer of the local government. The Obas is the head of the community. Even though you are not talking of presidency. But if you have the cooperation of the governor, even though you don't have the cooperation of the local government chairman and the Oba, it's enough. The local government chairman and the Oba will call the area commander and the DPO. They will agree that some volunteers group, Are have some volunteers to support us. We want to flush these people out from our forests. They have constituted nuisance and threat to us. And it will be done. But if you don't get that approval, you went there, you have become an intruder to their own community. The Oba will deny you that, you know Yoruba Obas. They will deny you. And you will hear different grammar from the security. That you kill innocent people. They will turn criminal to innocent. And you now become a criminal. They parade you. And Yoruba that said you should go and do it, they will change their word. I have learned a lot. We have an antecedent. I'm not a playboy. I'm not a person that look for sheep's publicity. I have made name at the age of 29 years. I have made name, either you like the name or not. I have been in the global scene at the age of 29. So what am I looking for? And I become a Ariana Kakamfo at the age of 48. So what am I looking for? I'm not looking for publicity. I'm not saying anything so that you can like me. I will tell you the truth. If you don't agree today, you are on your peril at the end of the day. When I said about 23 Yoruba will be killed, they killed Bola Ige within 3 months. That was around 2003. I got the information. I said, I named those people that will kill, and they killed about 5 of them. When they realized I've exposed them, Bola Ige was killed in the process. If you are opinion models, if the information is given to you, if you have the God to say it out to help the society.